Hello, everyone, in this beautiful evening. It's raining a lot in Campinas today. Guys, welcome to one more episode of Talking Times. Today, we're going to talk about job interviews. If you're looking for a job, you are a bit insecure. Oh, how's my LinkedIn profile, my resume, my hard skills, soft skills? Send all your questions to the chat. You're going to meet Thaís Lopes right after our intro. Hello, Thais.
Hi, Mike.
How are you?
I'm good, and you?
Me too. Before we start this chat, please introduce yourself to our listeners.
Sure. I'm Thaís. I'm a clinical psychologist, but I have been an English teacher here at times a few years ago, right,
Good
Mike?
times, yeah.
Yes, good times. I miss all my peers from here. It was a really good time when we worked together,
Yeah,
right?
we had a lot of crazy students.
Yes, and crazy teachers as well.
Yes. Okay,
Okay.
you've been recruiting for big companies, right?
Yes.
And how is the process, the experience?
It was a great experience. As I said, today I'm a clinical psychologist, but I worked with recruitment and selection for 8 years. Recruiting for most of the companies I recruited for were IT companies. So I got to know a lot of people. I love working with people, and it was a great experience learning also about what different areas we have in the IT area, because when we say IT, people just think, oh, it's the guy behind the computer.
Yeah, stereotype.
Yes, the guy we call when there's something not working here to fix these things.
Yeah.
But yes, I figure out there are a bunch of different areas in the IT area, like security or programming. So it was also nice to learn with the candidates. Also, I learned a lot with the managers, IT managers from the companies I worked for. Yeah, so I think this was the good part about working with recruitment. Also to improve my own skills.
Yeah.
Because I was in the other side, so I was the one interviewing people, and then I had a different perspective what the recruiters are thinking when I'm there being interviewed, what is on their minds. So
It's
yeah.
completely different when we are in the position of being interviewed. We have that fear of being judged, like, oh, I hope I cause a good impression. When we are on the other side, I don't know, when I interview teachers, for example, I think, I hope I help this person to really show me who he or she is, to make the person comfortable, you know.
Sure, yes.
Did you used to get nervous at the beginning?
A lot.
This candidate's so good, I hope it
Yes,
works.
right, people. Sometimes we think that only the candidate is a little bit nervous, but also the recruiter can be nervous sometimes. As Mike said, like interviewing people for English teacher positions. Probably the interviewer is like, oh, is the English of this candidate better than mine?
Yeah.
Or things like that comes to our mind. When I was interviewing for IT positions, at the beginning, I didn't know a lot about the technologies or what skills were really necessary for that position, because I was in training. So the 3 first months were very challenging. I had to study previously the interviews. So I was a little bit nervous because I was interviewing people that really know about their jobs, about their skills, about the technologies they use. So I was a little bit nervous at the beginning, but then things went well.
Okay.
I started feeling more comfortable with the candidates, also studied a lot about the technologies, IT areas. Also, I had a lot of help from my colleagues, all other IT recruiters or the hiring managers who were people who worked at the IT areas. So I think it's always nice to have a good relationship with people you work with, because sometimes they can give you ideas or they can help you if you have questions about the position you're hiring for.
No, it makes total sense because basically it's a communication issue. If you don't understand exactly what the other person does, You don't have a parameter to say, okay, this is a good or a bad candidate. If the candidate assume you know something you don't, or you don't know something you do, like you told me before, like you don't know that. Don't talk. Don't do that, guys. We're
Yes,
gonna.
yes, we were talking before the talk here, and then Mike asked me, "Oh, did you face some challenges while working with IT guys?" And then I said, "Yes, because sometimes they go to my LinkedIn profile and they see, okay, this person is studying psychology. She doesn't know anything about technology, so probably when she interviews me, she will know nothing about this technology or what are the necessary skills for this position." So unfortunately, sometimes when I was interviewing senior candidates, they and I would ask them, "Oh, can you tell me a little bit more about your experience using this technology?" And the person was like, "I don't know if I should tell you because I don't think you understand."
Oh my God, that sounds crazy. You want a job interview
Yes.
and you refuse to answer a question about something that you are supposed to do for the position you want to be hired.
Yeah, so please don't do that. If you have any interview, please just answer what the recruiter is asking you. Maybe you think the person doesn't know, but the person knows about what she or he is asking. Or maybe if you think the person doesn't know, I think Mike gave me a really good idea of what the candidate should do. That is, explain like you were explaining to a 5-year-old kid.
I do this all the time. Well,
Yes.
It's like, okay, Thais, I don't know exactly what a recruiter does because some of these terms are kind of new for me. Like, oh, headhunter. I imagine like a, old west. Like, okay,
Big guns.
yeah, like gunslinger, a sniper.
Yes.
A recruiter. I had the idea like, no, I'm not gonna do that here, but
Follow my lead.
follow my
No.
lead. Yeah. So if you think the person doesn't know, ask or explain in a didactic way, right?
Yes, because sometimes, and it happened, right? I'm not the IT girl, queen of IT, no. But sometimes if I didn't know something, but I had to report to the hiring manager. So if I didn't know something, I could or ask the candidate, "Oh, can you please tell me more about this experience or what is the use of it or something like this?" And then after the interview, the recruiters need to write comments about the candidates and send to the hiring managers. So if you don't talk and don't explain what was that skill or that technology or the experience you had, the recruiter won't write. So
You're right. The candidate was a dick.
not in these terms, but kind of.
It was inappropriate during our call.
Yes, not very
Euphemisms.
polite. Mhm.
Yeah. So okay, Thais. What does a recruiter do?
Well, first we write the job description is where we write what is necessary, soft skills, technical skills, sometimes a few interesting things about the person that is good to have a person working for this position. It can be like a bunch of different things. It really depends what the hiring manager wants of this person that is going to work on his or her team. So this is the first thing we do, right? Job description, post this job description so people can start applying to the job. We, as Mike said, headhunter. So we hunt candidates on
Not literally, okay?
not with guns, but only on recruiting platforms like LinkedIn or other websites where people register their curriculums. So we try to find best candidates that matches with the position we are hiring for, and then After that, we start calling the candidates and then scheduling the interviews. We do the interviews. After we have meetings with the hiring managers. There are the managers of the teams we are hiring for. We write comments about the interviews. We do meetings with the hiring managers to talk and decide which is the best candidate. So this is what is important, right? Because if in the first contact you have with the company, probably will be with the recruiter. So if this was not a nice way you talk to this recruiter or showed yourself, probably you won't get to other steps of the process, right? Or if we have to decide between candidates, some soft skills would be also important to decide. Okay, we have two profiles here. Both of them have the same amount of years experience in this position or with this technology, but this person had a better communication or was friendly. Things like that can make a difference. So always be nice.
Makes total sense because
Yes.
they will be the company will be expecting to have that person there for a while. So if you don't have these people skills in a basic level, that is to be
Yes.
polite, to communicate in a clear way, it will be a anticipated no, I imagine.
Sometimes, yes. Sometimes if the candidate has a bad behavior, yeah, it's not interesting for the company having someone that doesn't have a nice way of talking to people or talking about themselves. Probably this person will bring other types of problems if this person is at the company.
Yeah, so you mentioned something very interesting. You have to communicate really in a clear way with your manager, people who work, I mean, in the recruiter's perspective. So is the basic form of human relations there. Very interesting. And you became a leader in a recruiter company. That was fast.
Yes.
How was the process?
In less than a month.
Less than a month.
Yes, I would say maybe 27, 28 days. Guess why? Because I was fluent in English. So this was the
Sponsored by Times Idiomas.
Yeah, so I think if you have a good level of English or if you are studying English, this will make a huge difference. And this is not only for the IT area or if you want to be a recruiter, but any type of jobs. If you want to work, especially for multinational companies or big companies, if you have good English or good English skills, good communication, you will probably succeed.
No, it makes sense. And I say this a lot. When you know another language, it opens another universe and a range of options that you have available to. Yeah, it's not just because we are in English school. It's because
No.
it is relevant.
Yes,
Really.
I had the experience working with recruitment and selection. Like I said, I worked for 8 years. But the English made a huge difference because at this company we had clients that were Americans or Argentinians, and then they needed someone to be the leader of the team because this person would talk to the clients. So if it was someone who couldn't talk in English, this wouldn't make sense. So I had other people working with me. They were good recruiters, but they didn't speak English. So that's why I was the one
Yeah, they were limited
picked
there.
for this position.
I see. Nice.
Yes. But sorry to interrupt you.
Don't
But
worry.
this is one funny thing. In all the jobs that I got, the opportunity to work, or with companies or English schools. English schools is a little bit obvious,
Yeah.
but all of them I got the opportunities because I was fluent in English. So yes, sometimes
open doors.
Yes, it can open doors. Yes.
No, interesting. And is it very different when you are dealing with these companies that they need professionals who speak English, and when you are dealing with the others? Because some people say the marketing is very brutal. So, for example, some people say, I have a good technical skills, So English would be just one more thing,
Yes,
or
it could be a plus, or it can be the thing that would make the difference. As I said, when sometimes we really like two candidates, but and then there are the little things that we say, "Oh, okay, maybe this person speaks one more language, or this person is friendly." Little things.
so take notes, guys. First things first, be friendly, clear communication, learn English.
Learn English for
A
sure.
common misconception, Thais, and this I remember we chat about it on LinkedIn. The candidate sometimes he feels a little demotivated because he thinks he has to be fluent. He doesn't, right?
No. Well, it really depends because sometimes the company needs someone who can communicate. You don't need to be also like almost an American, a native person talking. But if you can communicate, sometimes this would be enough, right?
Nice.
So sometimes, as Mike said, the candidates demotivated, or I'm not going to apply for this position because they need someone who is fluent. But guys, only 2% of Brazilians speak English. So yes, sometimes we like the recruiters need someone, or the companies need someone who is fluent in English, but we cannot find this person because we need senior profiles and senior professionals to work. But it doesn't mean that these professionals also are fluent in English. So if sometimes we have a really good candidate and this person has an intermediate level, okay, maybe you will be the person choose for this job.
Yeah, hence the motive. You need to have a calm and clear communication in both languages in this case.
Yes.
All right. There is a lot of messages in the chat. I'm gonna read them all. Don't worry, guys. Okay. All right. Laís is saying here, Thaís, ótima profissional. Shout out to you, Laís.
Thank you.
I loved your chat without. I cannot translate. Just bate-papo sem frescura. I'm not gonna say chat without freshness. Shout out to you, Claudio. Hello, Times Rio. Hello, Magno. Okay, Claudio is asking here, should people in a job interview talk about volunteer work they do? Can this cause a good impression?
Yes, this can cause a good impression. Also, if you are a junior professional, maybe you don't have experience in a CLT job.
Okay.
So you can also write volunteer works that you did in the past. And then people say, okay, this person never worked for a company, but already has experience working in a volunteer program. So it means sometimes this person is someone who has good communication or can or want to develop themselves. So this is something interesting to write on your curriculum.
It also shows you have some level of empathy there to use your own personal time to help other people without any profitable advantage. Is interesting. Nice. So you have to do stuff. Okay, Davi saying here, oh, following Thaís on LinkedIn. Shout out to you, Davi.
Thank you.
Okay. Alberto Nunes is saying here, can you give a question example? A question in what terms, Alberto? During the interview? Okay. Ben is saying that you are incredible.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, Mariane has an interesting question here. What kind of questions candidates must and mustn't ask the interviewers?
This is an interesting question. I wouldn't say that is something that you shouldn't or should ask, because it really depends how the interview is going. Like if the recruiter already told you a lot of details about the company, about this position they're hiring for, or what they need of this person, if the recruiter already told you everything about the company and the position, maybe if you start making a lot of questions,
sounds picky.
Yeah, sounds picky. Or the opposite, if you don't show any kind of interest about the company or about the interviewer, about the position, this could also show you're not very interested and engaged on the process.
So you
So
need to balance.
you need to balance. Yes.
You cannot be
correct.
like overly excited. Oh my god, I love your company. I know the history was founded by blah, blah, blah. You know, like
Yes.
I know you did your research, but you can also not be the okay, whatever.
Yes, this wouldn't be nice.
Okay, which one is more difficult to deal? The overly excited candidate or the blasé one, very chilled back?
I don't know. I think both of them. Yes. I think yes, candidates that show a little bit of interest in the position or in the company make interesting questions, not the questions that probably you will read. Like if you type on Google, 10 questions I should make to an interviewer, to a recruiter. Please don't do that, because we know all these questions and this can be boring. So try to think something about the company that you can relate with your personal life. Like if it's a company that is really engaged with nature or things like that, you can ask, is there any philanthropy program in the company? Something like that, that is related with the area the company is, or with something that you can relate with your personal life. Interesting questions, not the basic ones or you can find.
What I'm thinking here is like the objective of this question should be you create a link with the recruiter and with the company. So for example, I am into any type of sport, so I will ask, is anything like that in the company? Do you have any type of competition, blah blah blah? Or like you said, is the company recycling, for example, if you're an eco-friendly person? But if you just ask a question for the sake of asking, like, what are the colors of the walls? Like, what's the point?
I think people, I think one good question to make is, what do you expect for this candidate doing this job? I think this is a really good question. And it works for both sides, because the interviewer, the recruiter, will say, this person is really interested in getting this job, wants to know what we are expecting of this person. And also you will know about what the company is expecting, because I think the interview is not only about the company and the job, it's also about the candidate. You need to know if this company and this job is a fit for you, because maybe it isn't. Like maybe you can check, this company has high salaries, or is a company worldwide known, so maybe you are motivated by these things, but maybe it's not a company that you can feel comfortable, or it's not something that you will feel motivated to work every day at this company. So it's always nice to know what they expect and about this candidate, so you can, I feel that this job fits with what I'm looking for, or with the type of company or job I want to do. And
if you relate with the values of the company too, you will feel more engaged in doing your everyday.
Definitely.
I was smiling while you were speaking. She knows me, so she knows my head is like this. I was thinking it's like a vegan person working for Friboi.
Yes.
Like a different
Great
values.
example.
Yeah, I was thinking
it's completely different.
The person would be like, oh my god, I'm doing something wrong in its personal experience.
Or maybe there are companies we know they're more traditional, so they would expect someone who dresses a little bit more formal and things like that, and you are someone more relaxed, and so maybe it's not wrong to be someone who likes to dress formal. It's not wrong to be someone who is more relaxed. But maybe if you are someone who doesn't like a lot routines, or if you prefer to wear comfortable clothes, there are companies like startups, they like this style of workers. So you need to find a place where you fit, because guys, we spend most of our days at work.
Yeah,
so
imagine.
If it's a place you won't feel comfortable or motivated to go to this job every day, in a long term, this could be really tiring.
And you will start doing a rotation of works too. You will go to the place for the salary only, and then eventually work there for a few months, and then, okay, why did you leave that place? What about the other one? I was thinking here, Thaís, thinking about the other side of the coin, what could you give as a tip for recruiters that want to make the candidates relaxed and because sometimes people mirror the behavior. So for example, if the person is feeling a bit nervous, like, oh my god, this looks like a very good candidate, what should the recruiter do in that case?
I think like what we are doing here, right? It's just like a normal talk with a friend. Of course, you are not a friend of the interviewer, but if it's like, I always try to make the candidates feel like they were not being interviewed. Is a talk about your professional life, your professional skills. It's just a talk. So
And she knows the subject better than anyone. You know what you have or haven't done. At least you should.
Yes, and I think the candidates already anxious or nervous about being interviewed. This causes a lot of stress in a few people. So if the person is already stressed or anxious, and sometimes the recruiters are, how can I say, they try to make questions or to get, where this person is lying. I'll find the curriculum doesn't match with the personality. I will find where is the lie or what. Don't try to do that, because like if the person wrote something that is not the true, or it's not that good in some, how can I say, in some experience, or don't try to throw this at the face of the candidate, like, you are lying.
You said that you were very communicative person.
What you said doesn't match with your skills on your curriculum. Don't do that. If you don't like the candidate or see there are points that are not matching, it's just a talk. You finish the talk, you don't approve the candidate.
Yeah,
right.
Sense.
But I think we need to have this good relationship with the candidate, because it's already a stressful moment. So what I always try to do is to make the person feel comfortable, try to make this person think it's only a talk. You're just telling me about your professional life. As if I ask you about your personal life, what do you like? What are your hobbies? It's just a talk,
Yeah, it's true.
Don't try to over stress the candidate.
To see if there is a match there, what the person is offering versus what the company needs in a way.
Yes.
It makes sense. Another interesting question here. Wait. Ew, people are talking. Okay, what? All right. How many steps, Magno is asking here, how many steps are there for international positions? Is it very bureaucratic, or depends on the company?
It depends on the company. And also it depends in which area you are applying for. Like IT areas, probably you have a technical test to demonstrate your level of proficiency in this technology. In multinational companies, probably you will have interviews in English or an English test. Other companies, probably 1 or 2 interviews, one with the recruiter and one with the hiring managers. It really depends.
Okay, there's no secret formula there. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
What you could do if this is something that really matters to you, and you say, I don't feel like spending a lot of time doing an interview process that has more than 8 steps.
Oh, like that platform
or like, like we were talking. There is
we will not mention the name, but you guys from ITERA know what we are talking about.
Yes, there is this platform, and then you have a bunch of tests and long tests. Few tests you take more than 1 hour or 1 hour 30 minutes to finish this test, and then you don't even know if you're going to be called to come to the interview or anything like that. And then you need to spend almost a day only doing the test. I don't think this is very nice. Also, we need to think the candidate probably has another job. So how this person will fit this bunch of tests in his routine. I don't like that.
It's not practical.
It's not practical. But if this is something that really matters to you, you can check. There are a few websites like Glassdoor, or you can go on on LinkedIn and try to find people who worked for this company, and maybe you can connect with them. And how was your process when you enter for this company? It was a long process. What type of tests they did or they applied?
This relates to the thing you were talking before, to increase your networking there. So if you are watching us, you can put your LinkedIn in the chat, and we can increase our network. Okay,
Yes.
I'm gonna add you guys too, right? Okay. Oh, sorry. We're going to connect. Victor is asking tips to better understanding Indian guys. I had an interview yesterday, and another guy that is an American had to translate the questions to me. Oh, you mean because of the
Accent.
accent? Yes. Okay, you can go first.
Well, this is a tricky moment, I'll say. Sometimes even like I was an English teacher for 10 years, but I think sometimes if you talk to people from other nationalities and they speak fluent English, but maybe it's different than the English that you learned. Like American English or British English, they have a different accent. Like Indians or Japanese, Chinese, it's sometimes a little bit difficult to understand the accent. You can ask the person to repeat the question, or if you don't understand, ask the person if she or he can write on the chat the question. I don't think this would be something that, as a recruiter, I would say, I don't like this candidate anymore, because maybe the person just didn't understand, right? So, or maybe the person has some hearing issues.
Okay, could be.
It wouldn't be wrong to ask, can you repeat, please? Or could you write for me? Something like that.
Most of the interviews today, they happened online, so it could be a technical barrier too. Sorry, I couldn't get. Yeah.
I just remember something. I don't want to be like the girl who is making the marketing of this company or that company, but like Google Meet, there is one option where you click and you can see the subtitles while the person is talking. So this could help.
That's genius. Yeah. But first thing, guys, it's okay to have an accent. I have one. My English is like a Frankenstein English. I learned, little bit
I think
here
we
and
all
there.
have, because like, even as Brazilians speaking Portuguese, if you talk to someone who lives in Fortaleza,
it's different.
or if you talk to someone who lives in Rio Grande do Sul or Campinas, São Paulo, it's different, right?
Yeah, very different.
Sometimes we don't even understand expressions or slangs or accents of people who live in a different state than us, and it's Portuguese, so it's not wrong to ask the person to repeat or anything like that.
What simply can't happen is like having like those memes. You have an ego boost, like, okay, the number of the protocol is 1, 2, 3, the person 1, 2, 3, and you start fighting. No, what you should do now, no jokes, is get acclimated with the English that is used with people from different nationalities. So, example, you can get any area of interest, watch a tutorial with an Indian guy explaining to you. Then you watch from another Indian guy. Then you get, I don't know, a German guy explaining something in English to you. You will see that his W pronunciation is different, and you will start noticing this. It's a great thing if you're learning the language too. And
maybe you can watch movies from different, not only the American movies from Hollywood. We have Bollywood. Like you could practice the Indian accent watching movies that are from Bollywood or Australian movies.
It will help you. So the only way to get rid of a difficulty understanding accents is you study psychology, so you know about the neuroplasticity. You need to get your brain acclimated with that sound, and it's simply this. It's the same with job interviews, right, Thaís?
And the most you try to learn from different ways, or hearing different accents, watching movies from different nationalities, this would help. What I think was really nice working here at times was because the student could schedule the class with one teacher, and the other week would be a different teacher. Because like me and Mike, we have different accents, right? Because probably you had different English teachers.
Frankenstein English, yeah, I know.
In different English schools than I did, right? So
yeah, it's very rich for the student. Yeah. Have you ever had some like funny situation during an interview? Many, okay.
Yes, but I'll tell you
Let's
one.
list the top 20, you know, just
I'll tell you one that is funny and cute. And as I know you love cats.
Yeah, I do.
So
shout out to you, Lucas. Yeah.
yes, I was interviewing this guy online, and then I could see in the background he had, I don't know what is the name.
Cat shelves. Yeah.
Yes, the cat boxes or shelves, I don't know,
Yeah.
and toys. And then I could see a cat sleeping there and another cat playing around. Okay, I was here talking with the candidate, and out of the blue, the cat just jumped right in front of the candidate. And then and it was nice and funny because and in this exactly moment, the candidate was talking in English.
Oh,
so
boy.
he was a little bit uncomfortable, like, oh, okay, I don't know if I'm saying the right words or my accent and everything. And then he was like, oh my God. And I thought it was cute, so it wasn't a big problem. I was like, oh, okay, cute cat and everything. I was like, okay.
And the cats are always like that. They say, look, my butt.
Yes, the cat just jumped and was looking, like staring at me. And I was like, oh, cute.
How dare you? You want to make us move?
You need to hire my dad.
Yeah.
Or I'll come for you.
Yeah.
No, and then I just told the guy, okay, oh, cute cat and everything. But the guy was really nervous because it was something, maybe he thought, oh, it's not nice to have this happening in the middle of the interview. And then the guy said, oh, because he started getting nervous. So his English was missing there. And then he was like, oh, my cat, meowie. Yes.
Sir, you have great improv skills.
I wanted to laugh. I didn't do that.
But this is the cut-off. He meowed during a job interview. I'm gonna put your face like this up.
Extra skill.
Yeah.
This guy knows a different language.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I speak English, Portuguese, and cats.
Yes, and meowie.
All right. Let's get practical here. So, could this story be a hint to really, before you do the interview, pay attention in the setting? Like,
yes, this is really important, especially if you're having an online interview, because I also had not so cute, nice situations while interviewing online.
Okay.
Like there was this one time I was interviewing
The mother with a lot of pens, like,
yes, saying, Anna, come here, do the dishes, or things like knocking at the door. The person
say, no, I am very proactive, blah, blah, blah. And then the mother on the back, oh, you are a slacker, don't do anything.
You need to clean up her room.
Yeah, exactly. Imagine like, oh boy, someone is lying there.
Yes, but always, if you're having an online interview, pay attention to the background. If you don't have a lot of privacy, or the background maybe is your bedroom and is all messed up, we have tools where you can upload pictures of a nice scenario in there. So always pay attention to the background, please.
What happened in the background? Share with us.
I had a really embarrassing moment. Once I was
She's having the vivid image now. You see her. You can see on her face.
And you know what, Mike? This happened more than once.
What the hell?
Yes.
It was a brother doing the NPC live on TikTok.
No, it wasn't at that time, but this could happen nowadays. I could picture that. But once, not only once, but okay, I'll tell you about this time. I was interviewing this woman, and then I saw in the background a guy walking wearing his boxers, just like maybe I don't know. He was taking a shower and was just walking in their house. I don't know if it was her brother or her boyfriend. So always pay attention to the background. If you can close your door or tell people who live with you, like
Communication again, right?
I'm going to have an important interview.
Please
Can you
don't
please
show your butt here.
Yes. Can you please get dressed? Don't knock at my door and things like that.
Okay, that's one. What are other common mistakes candidates do during interviews?
I think the excess, or they talk too much, or they just repeat the same things over and over again, or the way they say something in a arrogant way. So I would say this is not nice, but also the lack of information. I've seen some really good candidates. Sometimes they have a good curriculum, but when we are talking to these candidates, the person misses some information or forgets to tell something. It's not that I would think, okay, this person wrote something on the curriculum, but talking, this person didn't mention that experience or knowledge. But if you are talking, you have a lot more possibilities to really tell what you did, or how you learned that, or how was your experience working at company this or that, than just writing on a paper.
No,
Right?
makes sense. One mistake that when I was interviewing people, it was really, I don't want to use the word boring, but I would say counterproductive when people give me a list. Like, oh, I did this back to blah 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 blah, and then I did this, I did that, I did that. It's like reading a list.
Like a checklist.
Yeah, so I would much rather talk to people that they tell me a story. Ah, Mike, when I was doing this, I had this experience in that place that was like this, not over talk, but tell me a story about the thing.
Yes, this is what we call a storytelling.
No, there's the term for
yes,
that.
there's the term. And I always make fun because I love English, but I think sometimes the companies, they like to use words in English too much. Like,
what's the budget?
Yes,
we're going to have a brunch after the storytelling.
Feedback, and they're like always using English words. But the name for that, storytelling, is just having nice way of telling your story, your professional story. Because it's not only just, okay, Mike, I have 10 years experience as an English teacher. Okay, but what did you achieve? What did the other teachers think about your methodology? Did the students like you? It's nice if the person starts telling you how was the experience, not only saying, okay, I did this course, I study in this university, I speak English, I speak Spanish, so it's better if you have a storytelling. Like there are courses you can do to learn how to develop this skill of telling your professional stories. Also follow like from your newest experience to the oldest, or from the oldest to the newest, and connecting the experience. Like, I worked with this company, and then I learned about this and that is why a recruiter called me to work for the other company I worked after this one, because it's always nice to have this link, and this will make the recruiter don't ask like, why did you quit this job, or like, because you already told the story.
There were candidates that they were so good at the descriptions, they would mention names, the place,
But a lot of details, but sometimes it's too much. You don't need to be, okay, I had a manager 5 years ago, his name is blah, 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 and on my team I had Ana, Pedro, João. It's just too much,
It was a dreadful morning. I woke up, it was raining, and that day, it will be my last day in that company.
Yes, too much details are not necessary.
Yeah, makes sense.
Just like, also because usually the interviews, we have 30 minutes to interview this
Yeah,
candidate.
you are on the
So
clock there.
also when this is something interesting to do before being interviewed, read your curriculum, and sometimes it's not necessary to mention all the experience and all the places you worked, but sometimes the ones that you see they relate more with the job you are applying for, because it's only 30 minutes for the recruiter to get an idea of this candidate, and okay, I think this person is nice to continue on the process, or I'll stop with this person here. So be aware of the minutes and time you still have while you're talking to the recruiter, and try before the interview to practice. Get your curriculum.
Record yourself.
Yes, record yourself or read yourself, and see how many minutes you take to explain about this job or about your academic life or experience, because this will help. It's like when we practice a sport, or if you are a dancer, you need to practice, and you only have 90 minutes to score your goal.
Makes
I like
sense.
to compare. Like, it's like playing soccer. The soccer players, they train a lot, like every day. They eat healthy, they sleep, they do everything. It's like candidates. Probably you are a hard work, and you invest in learning a new language and everything. But when you have this 30 minutes to show that, or the person is giving a lot of details that won't make any difference, they are unnecessary, or the person doesn't know how to explain, doesn't have a good storytelling, or lack of information. All right.
Okay.
So you need to find a balance and really think like, okay, for this interviewer, is good for me to mention these things, these skills, these courses I have. Maybe for another company, it won't be necessary to tell about this.
So you have to adapt.
Yes. Also, another good thing to do is to have different curriculums, right? Like I am a psychologist today. I had been an English teacher, so I have different curriculums. If I want to apply for an English teacher position, I will not get the full curriculum with experiences that I had. I will get the one that shows the schools that I worked for, or internship programs I've done in the past, things like that.
Okay, so the candidate should show the best side that fits better that job position.
Correct.
Nice. It is a skill that you can improve like any other, doing interviews and telling about that. Interesting. Okay, new questions here. Okay. Okay, Leandro is asking here. What the recruiter is expecting when they ask, oh man, what should I hire you, or why you want to work here? That's a good one.
Yes, well, I don't like to ask these questions because I think it is obvious the person needs money to pay
Yeah.
the bills, right? So it's like, why do you want to work? Yeah, because I'm a millionaire.
Yeah.
I was bored at home, and I feel like, oh, okay, let's
Have to do
apply
something.
for
Okay,
this job.
Bruce Wayne, I will hire you. Yeah.
Right? But okay, if the recruiter asks you this type of questions, really tell the recruiter the truth. Maybe because you admire this company, or you know someone who worked there and gave a good feedback about the work environment, or because you want to work in this area, or something about the job description you liked, something like that.
Nice. What are the basic skills a candidate should have to do well on the interview? Let's start with the first impression. Like when you are looking for someone, what is the difference in your head? Oh, this is a bad LinkedIn profile or curriculum. Oh, this is a good one. Is the framing, the type of information there?
Talking about LinkedIn, Mike, sometimes people forget to update their profiles.
Yeah, it's confusing.
So, yes, it's confusing because we are in 2023. Then I enter this profile and the last experience is 2015. What this person is doing now, I have no idea. This person died.
Yeah, is the person still active or not?
We had the pandemic. I don't know. Like, so try to update your profile. If you are already studying, if you are in college or learning a new language, and you are not fluent or haven't finished this course, okay, you can already add this to your profile or curriculum, because sometimes
active.
yes, people will like, okay, this person is not working but is taking this course, right? And it helps the recruiters to see, like, okay, if this is an interesting moment for getting in contact with this candidate or not. Because what happens sometimes is, if I look on LinkedIn a profile and it shows the person started working 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Okay, it's like, okay, I can, if I really liked the profile, okay, let's try to talk to this person. But the chances are small. This person will say, okay, I just entered on this new job 2 weeks ago.
Stop sending
I'm going to change and try something new. So it's always good to have the LinkedIn profile, curriculum, everything updated, right? This is what I said before. Don't write too much, but also if you have only few lines, or as you said, the checkbox, like this won't help.
I've
like,
seen profiles that the
maybe
person
a paragraph about this experience at this company. This will already give the recruiter an impression of what you develop or did at this experience.
I've seen profiles that the person only literally wrote a hello word in the about part. I said, okay, hello you, bye you.
Or GitHub, like enter my GitHub.
Yeah, exactly. And if the person, it will sound strange, this question, but it will make sense. If the person doesn't want the recruiter sending messages, like you said, some positions, they receive a lot of approach. What should the candidate do? Because some people that you mentioned that they write crazy stories there, like occupation, I'm a pirate, like they write.
Yes, I've seen that.
Yeah, I'm not joking. Yeah.
Yes, especially with the IT guys. Sometimes I understand, because the IT area, it's on top, like of the jobs. It's the moment now. Like everybody wants to hire people who works with IT. But I as I said, you need to be polite, friendly, and a few candidates, especially in the IT area, they receive a lot of invitations for interviews, or recruiters trying to connect with them, and sometimes they are rude. So don't be rude. It is better if you have a message. Just write, like, I am. Oh, thank you for your connection, but at the moment I'm not really interested, and just send to all the recruiters that try to connect or to invite you for an interview. And if you can write on your profile, like, I'm not interested in doing interviews at the moment, but feel free to connect.
Yeah,
but we never know about the future, right?
Exactly. So even if you are not available in that moment,
we don't know.
Layoffs can happen. Yes. You don't know the future. Exactly. Some companies, they are doing automation, right, to do this recruiting. What could you recommend for the candidates to bypass this in a way and still show themselves to the company?
I think it is really difficult to talk about what the candidates should or shouldn't do, because using this artificial intelligence, sometimes this program, they get a few words, and if you don't have these words on your curriculum or LinkedIn profile, your curriculum or profile will be like, at the moment you apply, if you don't have these certain words, they will already don't use your curriculum anymore.
You don't even show in the list there.
No, but I cannot tell you, okay, you need to write this word, because it really depends on the company, the job, a bunch of things. I know there are websites you can go there and type the title of the position you are applying for, and then this website will give you a list of possible words you should include on your curriculum.
That's very interesting.
Yes.
What was the weirdest thing somebody put on a CV for you or on a profile?
I love this recruiter life because we see a lot of things, interesting things. But once someone, it was for a marketing position, but the person wrote on the curriculum that he was good in, I don't know in a specific name for that, but this person was like a hairdresser for pets. I don't know, is there a
Groomer, I guess.
groomer? Yes,
Yeah.
yes, this is the name. This person was a groomer.
You see, wait, this is how we learn vocabulary. Hairdresser for cats. I forgot the words. Oh, groomer, pling. You see,
Yes, I
paraphrase.
forgot the word. But then this person wrote on the curriculum, oh, maybe I can help my colleagues if they need to send their pets to the pet shop. Maybe I could help them. I was like, okay, but
Can
what?
give your pet a makeover.
Okay, no, I'm not saying, okay, this is not interesting, because, okay, if the guy took a course to be a groomer or,
Yeah.
oh, nice, but then you have two different curriculums, as I said, one for pet shops,
Yeah.
one for companies.
You can
Right?
put, if you want to mention that, oh, I'm a very versatile person. I am a full stack developer and also a groomer. Okay, but really versatile. But anyways,
Yes.
okay. There's another question here. Dejamar Pereira, shout out to you, man. I have a question about curriculum vitae. How my English need, how good my English need to be. For example, on resume, I have to be direct on my words. What I have to put on the information. Okay, if the person has the curriculum in English, write a lot. Don't write too much.
This is a great question.
Put in Portuguese and in English.
First, it really depends the country of this company. Like, especially in the IT area, sometimes they want to apply for jobs in Europe or United States. They have a different way to write informations on the curriculum. Sometimes there are informations here in Brazil we think are important, and then in other countries it's not important to mention, or the how can I say, the design of the curriculum.
Smile on the photo.
This is really specific, you know. As I said, there are startup companies that if you have a colorful hair and dresses in a more relaxed way, it would be nice to show like you have the style of the company. Smile or don't smile, I don't know, because sometimes I will look, okay, this person has a great smile. Like my mom is a dentist. I always like to show my teeth. But if the person looks serious, it doesn't really...
It's irrelevant in a way.
I think it's irrelevant because maybe something about the personality of this person.
So
Right?
That's why the interview is so important then. It would be
because
the real contact.
Only looking at the paper or LinkedIn profile, we don't get an accurate idea of the candidate. That is why it is so important to have the interviews with the candidate, because also there are funny things like on the curriculum, I'm very talkative, I love working with people.
Interview.
Things like that. On the
What do you want?
interview,
Yeah.
what is your name? Oh, you know, so that, yes, I don't think this is. Try to look for a few models of curriculums on the internet. Like if you are applying for an American company in United States, then you can type on Google like curriculums for American companies. They will give you an idea of types of curriculums they use.
That's very interesting. And it's funny because you mentioned different types of profiles of people, and they're not right or wrong. They will be right or wrong for specific places.
That is why it is important to have different curriculums. Also, another thing, like a few people, they love making this colorful curriculums on Canva or things like that. So it's very designed and everything. I think it's beautiful. I really love to see
I would
it.
frame
Yes.
it.
Yes, like, oh, this person is really creative. I think it's something nice, right? But few programs, they won't read this curriculum. So
They would just look and
no, not the recruiter, but when you apply for a position, it's what we call ATS, is a tracking system where the recruiters check in what stage of the person this candidate is. A few programs, they won't read if the curriculum is PDF or Word or things like that, you know. The way you saved your curriculum.
So the format would
The
block
format,
thing.
yes. If you have a lot of images, sometimes it's too heavy for the system.
So
I
it's
think
beautiful, but it's not
yes.
functional.
So it really depends, and I cannot say, okay, for this company you do this type of curriculum and do that, or don't do this and that. What I think it's nice to do if you are applying for a job, to check the background of the company.
Yeah, do
right?
research.
Do a research about the salary, about the culture of this company. Also, this is really nice because we have LinkedIn. Type the name of the company and see like profiles of the position you are applying for. What is the style of people who work there, or what they mention on their profile, skills they have. So maybe you have an idea of what you should include or erase
Makes sense because they're already there.
on your curriculum. Yes.
There's a very interesting question here from Mariani. Should the candidate mention health problems like ADHD? Is it important to say? And I will link this to you work in a company focused in diversity, right?
Yes, most of the companies I have worked, I was always working projects in the diversity area. I was also leader in one diversity group, ERG group at the last company I worked for. This is an amazing question, Mike, because what happened is sometimes we have what we call affirmative positions. They are for a specific group of people in the diversity team or area. And it makes it really hard to find candidates of this group, specific group we are trying to find candidates, especially people with disabilities. But I think this is something extremely personal. If you don't feel comfortable mentioning on your curriculum about your health issues or disabilities or anything, don't mention. Okay, don't mention. But in another way, if you put on your LinkedIn profile, if you write the disability or the seed for this disease or disability, this could help recruiters find candidates. They are from that group.
Far from being a problem, it's a door opener, actually.
It really depends because there are also, unfortunately, there are people they already they still have prejudice against people who are part of a diversity group. So it's really personal. If you feel comfortable writing, okay, I am or like LGBT people. If you want to write on your curriculum or LinkedIn profile, this could help a few recruiters to find your profile for these specific jobs, opportunities, or maybe this could be something that other recruiters that don't like people that are from this group, they could look and say, okay, I won't call this person. But this is also interesting to check, because if the recruiter already doesn't want someone who, like, let's say it's someone from the LGBT community, and you are an LGBT person, would you like to work for this
Yeah, I was
company?
thinking exactly that. Maybe we'll link to that hint you said about being comfortable in the workplace there.
Yes.
Okay, unfortunately, we are running out of time. Last question, thanks. And thank you so much, guys. I'm sorry if I didn't read your question, okay? A lot of messages here. But what should the candidate never say during an interview?
I'll answer that with another question.
Okay.
Do you prefer Black Eyed Peas or Dua Lipa?
I don't know. I think Black Eyed Peas.
Okay, because you know the song No 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 No. No. It's that, right? Never lie.
Ah,
Never lie.
yeah.
Like on the interview or curriculum or LinkedIn profile, never lie. Because this can turn against you, because the recruiter can start making questions to check what is your background working with this or that, or your experience working in this area, or can start asking you about the courses you took. And then what we will say?
Yeah, like, oh, I speak 12 languages. Which ones?
Okay.
And then, okay, let's chat in that language. Oh boy.
And then it's like this: Hello, Kitty.
Yeah.
Fluent English. Hello, Kitty.
Yeah, I know when you guys are bullshitting us.
So yes, never lie. This is my advice.
Nice. Thank you so much, Thaís.
Welcome.
It was a great chat. Was like 5 minutes chatting here, you know?
Yes.
Final message to our viewers.
Well, if you want to add me on LinkedIn, feel free to send me your invitations. And it was a pleasure to be here, Mike. I miss sometimes talking in English or being a teacher and things like that. Now I'm a psychologist. I also love psychology, but it's really nice to connect with old people that we worked in the past, like old friends, talking in English, talking about my life, my professional life, and everything. So it was really nice to spend this time here.
Great to have you here. Guys, thank you so much. Don't forget, like the video, share the video, and see you next week on our next episode of Talking Times. Bye-bye.
Bye.